My name is Kira King. I work primarily with freshmen and pre-major students. I've been at UW Tacoma for just about 5 years now, so I absolutely love working with these students and my role in advising. So hopefully we've got lots of general questions covered today, but if not, know that there are lots more information I'm happy to share with you. So some of the things we're going to touch on today, who is my advisor is the biggest one that I get from a lot of new students. Some of our academic advising tools at UW Tacoma, common new student FAQs, kind of a now what do I do now that I've been recently admitted, and then time for any questions that you may have of me. So the first part is really figuring out who your advisor is. Academic advising at UW Tacoma is split into two ways. We have a freshman and pre-major team, and then we also have several major advisors. So any student who is not yet declared into a major and all freshmen work with our university academic advising team. Here's a picture of my colleagues and I, and all of us are located in GWP 102 on campus. For spring quarter, we are still seeing students remotely through Zoom and phone interviews, so you are more than welcome to still schedule appointments with us. Advising in our office is designated by the first letter of your last name. So for instance, my caseload is students with last names R through X, for anyone who is a freshman or not yet admitted to their major. All of our appointments are scheduled online and can be found on our university academic advising website. The other portion of students and advising that we have are students who are major ready who have been admitted into their majors. These folks work directly with their academic advising units and program advisors within their department. Just like for university academic advising, appointments with these folks are scheduled online and are done through Zoom and telephone all of spring quarter right now, so you can certainly still connect with these folks as well. I'm going to go through kind of who these folks are on campus, just so you can get an idea of who they are. We've got folks from our Milgard School of Business, Carrie, Melody, and Anne-Marie. You're welcome to work with any of these folks. If you are admitted to Milgard, or if you have met all of the prerequisites and are just waiting for a decision on your application. For any students who are interested in nursing or healthcare leadership on campus, you get to work with Lindsay McBride over in our Cherry Parks building. She works with all undergraduate students and prospective students to those majors. So if you're not quite ready for the major, you can still work with Lindsay. Our social work and criminal justice school on campus is housed with 2 academic advisors. Dana Childs works with all of our social welfare students who have been admitted into the major. And Jill Hansen works with all of our online and in-person criminal justice students. Urban Studies gets to work with Carmen Wilson, and they are happy to work with anyone who is prospective into the program as well. So if you're interested in any of the urban studies or the urban design programs that we offer, you're more than welcome to just simply work with Carmen. And then our final folks on campus are our School of Interdisciplinary Arts and Sciences and the Institute of Technology. Within the School of Interdisciplinary Arts and Sciences, advising is done by major. So if you are interested in any of the sciences, you'd work with either Erica Tucker or Suzanne McCusker. If you're interested in the humanities, you'd be working with Susan Morera or Karin Daleski. And if you're interested in any of the social science majors that we offer, you'd be primarily working with Heather Hux and Karin Daleski as well. So for more information and detailed breakdown about their specific major caseload, I encourage you to visit the School of IAS Advising website, and I can show you where that is in just a little bit here. And then for our Institute of Technology, so anything in IT, computer science, or engineering, you get to meet with David or Beth Jeffrey. These folks do work with current UW Tacoma students only, but if you're a prospective student into the major, you do have the opportunity to work with Megan Reardron, who works with prospective students within the Institute of Technology. The other final piece of advising that we have are other student peers. So we've got a great peer team known as Student Advising Mentors. They are here every single day of the week to help you answer questions, things like how do I register, how do I add and drop classes, how do I use some of our academic tools like My Plan and your degree audit, when do I need entry codes and how do I get one, what majors and minors are available at UW Tacoma, what are some of the grading options like satisfactory or not satisfactory options that I may pursue. And they're located in GWP 102 on campus. They're available 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and are working remotely right now as well. On the UAA website, there is a chat feature that all our student advising mentors follow. So if you've got a quick question, you're always welcome to use that chat feature Monday through Friday. All right, transitioning to some of the academic advising tools that you might be using at UW-Tacoma. There are lots of them, so I say use whatever is your preference, but know that there are a wide variety of tools that are available to you. The first of which that you'll be using is known as My Plan. This is accessed through your My UW homepage on the right-hand side under My Plan. This is where you're able to look for courses, bookmark any courses that may be available. You can build schedules out for the entire upcoming year, the calendar year, or the quarter, depending on how far along you want to plan out for. You're able to audit your plan all the way through graduation. So make sure that you're on track through graduation. You can check your degree progress and audit your degree. And you can even register in one centralized system. This is available for any students who are transferring from current community and technical colleges in Washington State. So if you are currently at one of those colleges, you can use My Plan and see how your current credits at your current community college or technical college transferring to UW-Tacoma. If you've got specific questions about how to do this, I'm always happy to show you one-on-one, or you can always meet with one of our student advising mentors as well for more information. Another resource that we have are the major pages specifically. This is one of the most underutilized resources that we have on campus in terms of academics. To get to any of these websites, you would go from the UW-Tacoma homepage, you'd click on academics, and then find the school that you're located in. So whether it's the School of Interdisciplinary Arts and Sciences, Urban Studies, Institute of Technology, etc. Major pages have lots of rich information on them. They give you descriptions for all of the various course options, electives, and requirements within the major. And they also share specific information about careers that you might be interested in, internships, faculty, and things like that as well. You'll find a lot more detailed specific information when it comes to class requirements on the major pages, since we're always updating and giving students more options in terms of classes. So I definitely encourage you to visit the major pages for any major or majors that you might be interested in exploring. Another resource is our enrollment requests, especially for new students. This is a way that if for some reason you're not able to register for a class on your own, that we can still get you into it. You might need enrollment requests or entry codes for specific classes. Things like our writing composition course for any transfer students does have an enrollment request on it, just so we can make sure that students who are taking it are the ones who truly need it. If you've taken a prereq elsewhere and it's not transferring in super neatly, you might need a course enrollment request for this. One example of this is pre-calculus. If you've taken pre-calculus 1 at a current community or technical college and you're trying to take pre-calculus 2 with us, it comes in as just a general math class. So you do have to complete an enrollment request to get into pre-calculus 2, but I promise you're able to get into it. Some minor classes require entry codes, much like specific courses like the writing studies do, so that only declared students are able to get into it. And anytime you have instructor permission for a course, so if a course is full, but you're trying to overload or essentially get more seats added into the class than what our enrollment allows, or if you don't have a prerequisite but the faculty okays it, you are able to get into the class still using an enrollment request. All of those are done differently depending on the school that you're in on campus and the class that you're trying to get into. So the University Academic Advising page has just a general link that gets you to all the various enrollment requests for any school on campus. If you have questions about a specific class, you can always email your academic advisor and we can send you the right form directly. So those are the main academic tools you'll be using as a new student. There are several more, I promise, but I don't want to overwhelm you right now. So I'm just here to help get you started. And then as you meet with your academic advisor over the first several quarters that you're here, we'll show you lots more tools that we have available. So transitioning a little bit more into some of the common FAQs that we get from new students. The first biggest one is really, when do I register? All new students for autumn quarter can start registering on June 22nd. If you've been admitted for spring quarter, you already are able to register, so please connect with your advisor. But if you're a new student for autumn quarter, you can start registering in June. Advising will start taking new student appointments for autumn starting May 1st. So you can definitely connect with your academic advisor at least 6 weeks prior to you registering for any help that you may need. In terms of how to physically register, there are 2 main ways of registering. You can register through My Plan, like I mentioned, which is the more common way of registering on campus. You can also register through a system called SLNs on your MyUW homepage. That just stands for the signature line number, which is the unique code associated to the class. So our registration system knows you want that particular course as opposed to any other course in our system. There's no preferred way of registering from an advising perspective, so find what works for you. And then finally, it's a little hard to see on here, but our Office of the Registrar has some great tutorials that walk you through how to physically register for classes. So I've included the link to those tutorials up here for you, and I'm happy to send those to you directly as well. The other common question we get is, how do I know what class is transferred in? Right? You've done a great job of sending your official transcripts to the Office of Admissions. You've been admitted, you've paid your new student enrollment and orientation fee, and now you get to find out exactly what course is transferred and how they apply to your degree plan. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you've paid your new student enrollment orientation fee. Once you've done that, you're going to go to your degree audit on your My Plan through your MyUW homepage, and you're going to click on DARS. DARS just stands for Degree Audit Reporting System. So it's going to take every class that's transferred in so far and any class that you might be currently registered for or taking at UW Tacoma and apply it towards your graduation plan. As I mentioned earlier, this is only accurate after you've paid your new student enrollment and orientation fee and admissions has been able to evaluate your transfer credits. If you're at a current community and technical college, you can use DARS using your community college student ID number and find out the same information. And again, I'm happy to walk you through how to do that one-on-one. One of the biggest things to know is that not everything transfers neatly. This is very normal. You might have some classes that show up as UW 1XX or Math 1XX or Chem 1XX, whatever course you have. It just means that we don't have the exact equivalent on our campus, but the credits transferred in. If you've got specific questions about a class that's not fitting where you think it should be, just email your advisor and we can tell you how to make sure we can change your degree audit to reflect that change or why it may not have transferred in the way you think it is. And so please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're always happy to investigate that for you. Since you are probably admitted for autumn, you might have been taking classes in winter or spring of this year. So you've got courses in progress at your current college, and I've got lots of questions about prerequisites and things like that. It's very normal to have sent admissions your transcript after your autumn 2019 grades have posted while taking classes winter or spring in progress. All you have to do is just email your academic advisor at UW Tacoma sharing what classes you've taken at winter and spring at your current college so we can create an updated and realistic plan for you. It's really helpful if you can upload unofficial copies of your transcripts now that winter grades have posted for most Washington State community and technical colleges, just so we can create just a more accurate plan for you. We will always update this once your official transcripts and your final transcripts have arrived, but in the interim, it just helps us get more information for you. And as a friendly reminder, once your final grades have posted in whatever term you're ending at your current college, make sure you send the Office of Admissions your final official transcript. Several students have forgotten to do this and they end up just being a couple credits short. When we know you already have earned the credits, we want to give you all the effort and award as many credits as possible. Another question that's really common is, how do I officially declare my major? You might have already been admitted to your major if you are a new student for autumn as a transfer student. If you're not sure if you've been admitted to your major, you can just send me an email or send me a private message in this chat and I can look you up in our system to see if you've been admitted to your major. Or if you're a freshman or a pre-major student who's still working on some prerequisites or applying to a capacity constrained major, I encourage you to look at our UAA website. because every school and every major has different requirements for how to officially declare majors and minors, and we break it down for you piece by piece. The other thing that's really simple to do is just email UAA. So it's just UWTUAA@uw.edu. And any one of our staff members can give you a detailed response of how to actually declare or apply for a particular major or minor. You want to make sure that you're emailing us from your UW email address whenever possible. As a new student, I know it's not always easy to access your UW email. So if you are emailing us from a personal account, just make sure you include your full legal name, your student ID number, and your UW Net ID, just so we can make sure it's really you and look you up in our system pretty easily. Those are the most commonly asked questions of new students. I'm sure there are lots more. So again, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have, but kind of thinking about what's next for you. Really, if you are a new running start or freshman student for autumn 2020, you're going to want to attend new student advising and registration in summer. There's going to be more details and invitations coming your way here in the next couple of months or so. At the moment, we're just waiting for more instructions from Governor Inslee about if we're able to have these events in person or if we're going to be doing them remotely. So hang tight for more information. I promise it's coming really soon. If you can't make any of the dates that we have, we've got 10 of them identified right now for summer. If you can't make any of the dates, it's okay. You're just going to schedule an appointment with your academic advisor. If you're a new running start student who is major ready, you will get a personalized email from a major advisor telling you to schedule with them. If you do not receive that email, or you're a freshman student or a running start student who has several prerequisites to complete, simply schedule an appointment with your university academic advisor. Again, that's done by your first letter of your last name, and all of that's detailed on our website for you. If you are a transfer student, I do encourage you to schedule an appointment with your major academic advisor. As I previously mentioned earlier in this session, we are still taking student appointments both through telephone and Zoom right now. Zoom tends to be a little bit easier as a new student because we can do things like this, like screen share, and just walk you through all of the steps. And we'll start taking those new student autumn appointments May 1st. So you can schedule now for any May appointments. So I would encourage you to do so just so you have whatever your preferred date and time for appointments are. Plan for a full 45-minute appointment with your advisor, since there are tons of new student questions and we want to make sure we have ample time to answer all of them. On the right, there's an image here of the university academic advising website right here. So if you just come to the homepage on the UW Tacoma website, if you click under academics, the very first tab on the left-hand side says academic advising, which will bring you to this page right here. This is the easiest way to schedule appointments with academic advisors. We break it down for you by freshman and pre-major, and then any of the major academic advisors within their various schools. So it brings you right to their booking page, and you can schedule very easily from there. I encourage you to come prepared to most academic advising appointments. Right now, anyone I know who's on this webinar is a go-getter, who's got lots of questions and wants to be really prepared as a student, which I appreciate. So I encourage you to bring that same energy into your academic advising appointment, even if it's through Zoom. Right, so some of the ideas of ways to come prepared for the appointment are take a look at your degree audit or your DARS. As a new student, I do not expect you to have looked at the time schedule and the tentative time schedule before your appointment, but if you happen to stumble upon those things on the website, great, you're welcome to take a look at them. If you don't look at those things before your appointment, it's okay, but you can still look at your DARS and at least see what transferred in. I also encourage you to come with questions and come prepared with anything you hope to talk about. At the beginning of your appointment, your advisor will typically ask what you're hoping to cover as a new student. Since there is a lot of information we can go over, I want to make sure we're making the most out of your time. So if you're thinking about things like internships at any point, study abroad opportunities, if you want to do research with a faculty member, if you want to go to a graduate program, if you want to work in a particular industry, if you bring some of those ideas or kinds of questions you have to your appointment, it just allows us to have a more meaningful appointment together for your first time. There's always lots of follow-up appointments that happen, so don't be worried if we don't go through everything the very first 45 minutes, but I promise you'll at least leave more prepared if you have some questions with you. The final thing I recommend is having a pen and paper or laptop available, whatever your preferred method to take notes are. There is, again, a lot of information that's covered. So I find that students who take any documentation they need, whether it's notes or even just take pictures of what we're going through, tend to find it a little bit easier to remember some of the information later on. If you happen to forget anything during our appointment, just email your advisor. We're always happy to send you links to anything that we cover during appointments.